Okay, my final thoughts on the show. Did it turn everything around? Was it decent? Was it garbage? And am I looking forward to seeing more of Riri Williams in the MCU? It's been a week since the first three episodes debuted, so everyone got a chance to marinate on what happened and get ready to watch the final three episodes if that's something they wanted to do. So we're going to start with episode 4. Episode 4 starts off with the backstory between the Hood and John, which are two characters that I love and love to see on screen together. It's kind of sets up what was going on and who was the dominant one at the time, which was John leading the pack. And I think it was a solid way to start the episode. After that, we get a scene where the gang is sort of having a memorial for John. And I will say this is one of the better scenes of the season up until this point. It builds a lot of tension between Riri and the Hood. You see a lot of emotion finally come out of the gang. They're starting to flesh them out as characters finally for me. I know they did a little bit here and there, but they weren't really hitting for me. But this really brings it home. So I'm liking the way this episode is starting. I know a big point of contention is the AI being her best friend and how it's portrayed. And I must say, on that, I'm still not loving it. I know some people do. Hey, if you do, it's for you. If not, it's not. It's not one of my favorite things in the show. I kind of could do it all. I kind of could do without it, even though it seemed like it may be necessary to the story at this point, but I'm not a big fan. I do wish they went a little more into how Riri was affected by John's death. I know they kind of mentioned it here or there, but being what I think she's like 20, 19 at this point, and leaving a man to die seemed like it would have some real strong, lasting effects. And it's kind of just like, oh man, I feel bad he died. Okay, let's go out and look for stuff. It's just nitpicking here, but it's just one of the things I noticed. And the belly shirts are back. Yeah, the belly is back. If you see my previous review of the first 3 episodes and what I think is really going on with all these belly shirts, go check it out. I'm not going to reiterate it, go back into it there. It's just my wild theory, but this is solidifying it for me. I think every episode she's going to have a belly out, and I feel like it was deliberate. Ezekiel Stain is starting to get fleshed out more, and I did like his character in the beginning, but it's interesting to see he's getting the rap for being this evil guy and then praising his father when really it kind of was the other way around. But I do like this dynamic. I do like that they're using a legacy character, but giving him his own story in relation to Riri at this point. This is how you do legacy characters, I think. Trying to put them in the same dynamic, but not giving them a connection to the current character kind of sucks. I hate when they do that and they throw that in there. I know sometimes in the comics and some of the cartoons, they do that with Miles Morales. He just has no reason to have issues with these Spider-Man villains, but he does. But this actually gives us a reason. This gives Riri and Stain their own setup in history, but still keeping the legacy from Iron Man and Obadiah. I don't know what is going over Riri's character. Sometimes she just seems strangely written to me personally. I don't know if anyone agrees, but the scene where she goes to see Ezekiel in jail was just kind of weird how she's like cracking jokes to him. This man is in jail mainly because of you. Where's the sympathy? She kind of comes off kind of like a rude jerk a lot of times and uncaring, like she has Asperger's or something. She doesn't connect with people or read the room. I don't know what it is. And before everyone starts with the, oh, Tony Stark was this and Tony Stark was it. Yeah, Tony Stark was a jerk. Yeah. But I guess it is purposely done as her love interest Xavier compares her to Spock from Star Trek. And I just don't really think that's how I viewed Riri coming from a comic perspective and just not how I thought she was going to present in these films. I was thinking she was going to be a more loving and warm and kind-hearted person, but I guess they're going more so with the hardened, broken route, and she just doesn't really connect with people too well. I get it. It's cool. I'll deal with it. The AI comes back and starts dancing to Shake What Your Mama Gave You, and it's just so awkward to me, and I just don't know. Every time this AI shows up on the screen, it feels like they're just doing something that just is weird and strange to me, and it's just like, why is the AI dancing? I get it. She's from her brainwave memories, but I don't know. It, like I said, the AI is just not my thing. I'm going to keep bragging on it. It is what it is. It's just not my thing. This episode does bring us a hidden gem, though. The character Zelma Stenton. I like this actress. I like what she did with the character. This character is a semi-deep pull, and it gives me hopes that they might do something major with Doctor Strange going forward. Maybe Strange Academy is happening. Maybe, maybe not. I know there were some rumors about that somewhere, but I really enjoyed her and her character. I wanna see more just from the beginning, first sight. I was into it. I was into her. I love the nod. I love the character pull. Everything about it was great to me. That whole scene was wonderful. I like how they're starting to incorporate the magic into the show. It's really getting better here. Ezekiel Stain going full villain is another great addition to this episode. Overall, I would give this episode probably a 6 out of 10. It was pretty good, not too heavy on action, but it brought us a lot of story and it kept us wanting more. We're seeing the supporting cast starting to flesh out more, and it does keep you wanting more. And I'm glad they released these 3 episodes back to back because it keeps the interest going and it will make you binge it. With that being said, the magic shop scene is my favorite scene overall in this episode. Episode 5, we get more of Zelma, and I'm happy about it. She really is a bright light in this show. This is a character that I hope continues on in the MCU. We also get some more out of the supporting gang. I'm really starting to feel like I might remember some of them at this point. Some decent fight scenes here and there. They all have their memorable moments. There is a chance that they won't be completely forgotten. I must say, in the beginning, first 2 or 3 episodes, I did not like them very much. I didn't think I remember any of them. I still might not, but there's a small chance now. Ezekiel Stain continuing his villain arc and having his first fight with Riri was pretty refreshing to get back to some action. Even though it was very short-lived, it was a decent fight scene, and I liked the way it played out. I wish we would have got a little more here. We're starving for action, but wasn't too disappointing for a D-plus show. I feel like some of these fight scenes might reach a semi-iconic status and still carry on and be replayed in clips and stuff in the future. This is one of those scenes that might make it out of the show when everyone says, hey, you remember that Ironheart show? They might remember this scene. It sort of feels as if this show was supposed to take place before Wakanda Forever and not after. I don't know when that decision was made or how. It just seems to me like her mother and the people around her and even Riri herself forget that she was in a whole nation versus nation war in Wakanda. She was taken to a whole underwater world by Namor and all of those things happening. She was already well on her way to be a hero. She's already did a lot of fighting and accomplishments and studying and all this kind of stuff. And it just seems like now she has really low self-esteem and confidence for someone who's already did all of that. I mean, she's been to one of the richest and technologically advanced countries in the world. Like, all these things already transpired. It just seems like her hero journey was reset and her mind was reset and she's starting back out. I feel like this could have took place before the Wakanda arc and it would have made more sense to me. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think she kind of regressed in her confidence, abilities, and her just general knowledge of everything? Ezekiel Stain in the Hood, the duo I never thought I would be happy or want to see on screen. They took 2 D-listers and made them into something that I'm actually interested in. Their interactions were something I wanted to see more on screen. And even the gang is really starting to flesh out in this episode. When they have a falling out with the Hood and he kicks them out, I was almost sad that they were leaving. I was super surprised. They snuck up on me, and I definitely wish they would have stayed around, especially, I don't remember their names. Not going to remember their names probably. But the Demolition Girl, the Blood Twins, and I don't know. But the Demolition Girl started to step it up in her acting. They gave her a few more lines. It wasn't bad. I must say, I may just remember them a bit after this show is off into the wind. The montage of Riri building her new suit was a good scene. It's such an MCU scene. We always see these in the movies and the shows, the montage of the hero building their suit, but it was cool. And her paying homage to her stepfather by using parts of the car, it was a great touch. The suit didn't look bad. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but it was cool. Overall, the suit, wasn't too bad. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But it gives it time. They can build up more. I like the fact that they're using magic more in this show and they're infusing it. It kind of separates her from Tony and give her a little bit of a different dynamic. Plus, it opens a lot of doors for a lot of things in the future where I hope they do go to. I'll probably mention that later in the video. Parker meeting his father. Anthony Ramos just continues to bring it in this show. That scene is one of the better scenes in this episode. It was very intense. I kind of felt that reveal coming, but I wasn't sure. But it still had a hit for me. I liked it. This is where I think this show really needs to stay in that pocket of not being slapstick humor, keeping the drama going and intensity and the seriousness. I really feel like this is one of those shows that thrives on that. So maybe that's why the AI thing bothers me so much because it's mostly comic relief. This episode was probably my favorite so far. I'll actually give this one a 7 out of 10. It didn't have to have so much action, but it had enough. It didn't have to have so much story, but it was good when it did have it. It wasn't a lot of drawbacks in this one. This show was really starting to heat up here. I'm not saying that I would have wanted more episodes. I'm glad when the show heats up and continues on. So at this point, I was just hoping it can finish off strong. But does it? That is the question. So let's talk about it. The finale, episode 6. The opening of episode 6 is the best opening of the series so far. We get the story of the Hood, how he got his powers, what happened, and it features none other than Mephisto. Yes, Mephisto, the guy we've been waiting for since the first D plus show WandaVision aired. We wanted this for so long. How could it ever live up to what it needs to be? Was this going to work? Yes, Sasha Cohen as Mephisto was amazing to me. Like, I must say, I didn't have high hopes. I felt like, how they're going to pull this off? How is this going to work? How is he going to do this? But man, it was good. Anthony Ramos, Sasha Cohen's back and forth as Mephisto in the Hood was so good. Perfect way to open up the show. I really just wish they told this whole show from the Hood's perspective. We could have had Riri in there in her parks, but man, this was good. This episode, best opening out of the series so far. And it just made me think of the possibilities. I would love to see this version of Mephisto with Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange or even Tom Holland's Peter Parker, man. It would be amazing. I hope we get that one day. Finally get to see the new suit in action as Riri faces off against Ezekiel Stain. Another one of those short-lived fights. We kind of get a little bit, not too much, but I guess, can't expect too much from a D plus show. I like where Ezekiel's story went, and I like how it kind of fleshed out and ended there. I don't know if some people might have a problem with it, but I think it left enough open for him to come back either as a friend or in a villain capacity, but he's not completely gone. I like it. I think it wrapped his story up pretty nice. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this episode. The fight that we knew eventually had to happen, Riri versus the Hood. The action in this fight was decent. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't great. It wasn't a long fight, but we did get to see the Hood totally go crazed out like we wanted to see him all along. But I just wish we had a little more. It was kind of like leading up to one of those big boxing events and the two people just spar around for 12 hours and it goes to a decision and you're like, they fought, it was cool, but I wanted a little more. It won by in the blink of an eye. I really wish they put more of the budget just into this scene, but we got what we got and it was pretty anticlimactic if you ask me. But after the fight, we did get treated to a sit down between Mephisto and Riri. This was a scene that I didn't expect, and I didn't know how it was going to play out. This was a wonderful scene. Sasha Cohen as Mephisto does really well. And Riri, Domonique Thorne, of course, you all know, not my favorite choice for Riri, but acting in this scene, she did really well. And I think this is one of the more powerful scenes on the show. It is a game changer of a scene. Mephisto making a deal with Riri to get her friend back is monumental and can have extreme implications on the future of the MCU. I mean, there's so many ways they could go with this. I'm glad they did it this way. I didn't see Riri as this superhero, Superman, smiley character. They kind of putting her in the spot of she makes questionable decisions a lot. And it bothered me in the beginning, but now I'm kind of settled into it that this is where they're going. So, hey, it makes sense. Her making a deal with, so to speak, the devil in a way. We'll see where that goes. We do get a final scene with Riri with her iconic curly afro hair out finally. And I think it does make her feel more like Riri. Just seeing it, it was just a little small thing that I wanted to mention because that did make me happy. The after credit scene, if you didn't stick around and see it, we got the Hood meeting up in the shop with Zelma to get some magic. I like this idea. Can we get a spin-off show with Anthony Ramos and the Zelma character. I don't know the actress's name, but I'm definitely gonna look her up. I would like that. Maybe even just like a little mini 45 minute episode. Maybe they could meet up with like Agatha and Billy or something. That would be freaking amazing because I like that show. And they're off on their quest somewhere. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but I would enjoy that. Anybody else? Anybody else would enjoy the Hood and Zelma going on an adventure, meeting up with Agatha and Billy? No? I don't know. Just me? All right. Okay. My final thoughts on the show. Did it turn everything around? Was it decent? Was it garbage? And am I looking forward to seeing more of Riri Williams in the MCU? Overall, I'm going to give this show a 7 out of 10. It actually turned out way better than it started. It managed to introduce us to some characters that we wanted to see for a long time and some new characters. It gave us some people to like. It didn't kill everyone off. We got so many thread lines and so many places they could go here. Some decent action scene moments, some decent pieces of story and lore added in for the world building aspect. Overall, not a bad show. The acting, pretty good. There wasn't anything where I really said, oh my gosh, this person is just horrible with the acting. All in all, it turned out really well. Yeah, I'm a believer. Would I watch this series again? I might. I might. I definitely would check out certain episodes again, and I might watch the whole series again. I can say I do want to see more of the Hood. I do want to see more of Ezekiel. I definitely want to see more of Mephisto and Zelma. And I do want to see what happens with Riri going forward. I have my own ideas of what I wish would happen. Maybe Shang-Chi 2, she could fight the Ten Rings, Shang-Chi's sister, find out that her father's alive and working for the Ten Rings. Maybe throw Fing Fang Foom in there. There's so many ways they can go with the magic and the tech thing. I'm looking forward to it. I hope she shows up in Shang-Chi too. So to finalize my thoughts, still not in love with Domonique Thorne as Riri, but as the MCU version of Riri, I respect what she's doing, and I did enjoy the show. It's definitely not one of the worst D plus shows. It may not be my favorite, but it's somewhere in the upper middle. So what do you guys think? Show was great, show was trash, show was okay, mediocre. Are you looking forward to seeing more of Riri? Are you looking forward to seeing more of any of the other characters? Where do you think this goes from here? Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. Just drop a comment. Let me know anything. Let's talk. And I'll see you guys next time.